everybody, this is Allison, and I wanted to pop on today because I just posted the videos from the 5-day video series again about how to get good advice for moving to France. Now, when I recorded those videos and posted them, it was not Mercury retrograde, it was not a full moon with a solar eclipse. Both of those things are coming up at the end of this week. And nevertheless, I managed to have a technology snafu, and none of the videos matched up to the posts that I had put. So they were wrong on my website, they were wrong on here. So I just fixed that, and I really want to encourage you to go watch those videos in order because honestly, I think that's a really important, it's probably one of the most important things that I've recorded. So I want to encourage you to go do that. But the reason I came on here today was not only to tell you about that mix-up, but also because I want to talk to you about something I was journaling on this morning and about how I've been looking at my job, which is, of course, helping people with French bureaucracy. Now, a lot of times when I'm on this group and when I'm talking to people, I frame the problem of French bureaucracy as that, as a problem, and as something that, you don't want to mess this up because you could get in trouble. And honestly, not wanting to get in trouble has been something that's been holding me back in my personal development and that I've been working on, because I was always the good student, somebody who played by the rules, somebody who I stepped into the snow one time in the first grade to get out of the way, to be polite to somebody behind me, and I got in trouble with the teacher, and honestly, like, that scarred me for life. So, um, so fear of getting in trouble by doing something wrong and, screwing up your visa or screwing up your taxes or something like that. It's something that I talk about a lot because it's something that frightens a lot of people away from moving to France and from being able to create the life they want here and do the projects that they want here. But I started thinking this morning about, maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. And it brought me, my journaling brought me to one of my favorite poems, by one of my favorite poets, who's Edna St. Vincent Millay. My very favorite poem of hers is Dirge Without Music, which I'm not going to say today, but she has a couple of poems called First Fig and Second Fig. And I believe this one is Second Fig. And the poem goes, safe upon the solid rock, safe upon the solid rock, the something houses stand. Come and see my shining palace built upon the sand. I don't remember what the adjective is for the house, and I'm not going to grab my book. And I started to think about the idea of, what we're really doing when we move abroad is a lot of times we're pursuing a dream that's external, starting a business, learning French, following a partner, enjoying French culture, moving to Europe for whatever reason. But a lot of times there's a strong internal component, and I've talked about this before from my own journey. Either something that we're running away from, or something that we're running away from, or something that we need to work on in ourselves. And when we come here and we're far away from our family and our friends, and trying to build this life, a lot of times I'm getting distracted by an asshole in the comments that I'm going to delete. But you know, a lot of times when we come here and we're trying to build this dream, we're not necessarily doing it with the right tools. And I started to think about the bureaucracy and the helping people with the visas and the health insurance and all of the stuff. We can either look at them as obstacles that we need to overcome and that are preventing us from achieving our goal and that are making our lives difficult. Or we can look at them as tools that we're going to use to build the foundation of whatever it is we're creating for our life here. And for a long time, I looked at them as obstacles. And I saw my role as somebody who helped people overcome obstacles. But I think a better way to look at this is to look at it as allowing yourself to build a dream not on sand, but on solid ground. And to build a house or your castle or whatever, using the appropriate tools that are going to prevent your house from crumbling. And what I think when we're not approaching French bureaucracy in the right way, meaning when we're not looking at what is the right way to do things, and we're not looking at we're just kind of holding our breath and closing our eyes and hoping that we can squeak through without making sure we have all the information, without making sure we have the right tools. What we're really doing is self-sabotage. And as the queen of self-sabotage, in a lot of different ways, including sometimes in the past ignoring some of my own bureaucracy needs and administrative issues. We call into question whether or not we even deserve to have our dream come true. Because if you look at it from the sense of, you know, coming here with the wrong visa to start a business, coming here with a student visa when you intend to work, coming here on a short stay tourist visa when you intend to get married, not making an attempt to get clear and accurate information up front about your taxes and about your health insurance and about exchanging your driver's license and about a million other topics that we could cover. When you stick your head in the sand without looking into those topics, then they're just going to come up later, and it's just going to be worse. And if you ignore things in the beginning, then what you're saying to yourself is, I don't deserve to have these things done the right way. I don't deserve to have my life here built on solid ground. I don't deserve to put in the effort and the investment and the time now to avoid frustration later. And what you do is then when you have a problem, you make yourself a victim of French bureaucracy. You make yourself a victim of the system, a victim of bad information, a victim of somebody giving you the wrong advice, and it's not your fault. And when you abdicate responsibility like that, you abdicate responsibility for making your dream a reality. And so I wanted to come here and talk about that because I think it's really important that instead of framing French bureaucracy as the thorn in our side or the sword of Damocles that's going to fall on us at the wrong moment, I think we really need to look at it as the tool that's going to enable us to create what we want. And even if you look at, for example, the visa application for someone starting a business, a profession libérale, sure, it requires a lot of work. It requires a business plan. It requires finding clients. It requires doing financial projections. And you know what? It's not easy. And I've put together resources on that. And I can't tell you how many times people say to me, well, you know, your service or even your online course is too expensive and it's out of my budget. And my response to that is that, you know, first of all, do it yourself, that's fine. There are people who do. But if you can't invest in making sure that you're doing it correctly, if you're not willing to put in the effort to make sure that what you're creating is going to work, then in a lot of cases, I think that you don't want it to work. And you're going to have a lot of challenges because you're not ready to take that leap of faith. And so instead of looking at me as somebody who's telling you you're doing it wrong, and instead of looking at French bureaucracy as these scary things that we need to deal with that we might screw up and get in trouble for doing wrong, I think what we need to look at is the requirements of French bureaucracy are going to ensure that you have the health insurance that you need and you have the driver's license and the insurance and you have a place where you can live where you're not going to be kicked out and you have the right visa that's going to enable you to stay in France for a long time and to continue to renew your visa and to earn money and to support yourself and to create whatever your dream is. And so there are two things that I want to offer you. One is to look internally and to figure out what it is you want. Because a lot of times we look at the tools and try to figure out the end goal instead of looking at what we actually want. But the answer we need to look at first is, what are we trying to create? What are we trying to build? How are we going to do that sustainably? And then, while we're on the path to creating whatever it is you want to create, I want to be the one handing you the tools to enable you to do that. I want to give you the shortcuts. I want to give you the magic words. I want to give you the magic objects that open doors and clear away obstacles. And as someone who did a master's thesis on fairy tales. There's no role that I would rather play than that of the benevolent fairy godmother saying bippity boppity boo and making these things easy for you. And what I want to tell you is that if we start by looking at what you want and what you want to create and what you want your life to look like, and then we create that using the systems and the bureaucracy and the tools that are in place to create those kinds of projects and that kind of life, we're going to be in really good shape. And I'm not saying there won't be obstacles, but most of the obstacles are going to be in here and in here. So that's my thought for today. And I have reposted those videos. I am offering coaching. These are not full service French administrative doing things for you. This is coaching to help you figure out what kind of life you want to create and how we can use the tools of French bureaucracy to help you do that, whether it's through your visa application or a change of visa status, whether that is, merely guiding you through the process of any kind of administrative procedure here, looking for jobs, looking for internships, setting up an association, and just getting you settled, getting you adjusted, guiding you through the difficult periods that can accompany, moving to and settling into a new country, even if you love France, even if you have always wanted to live here. There's certainly an adjustment period. There's certainly challenges that are associated with arriving and settling in. And I would love to be the one to guide you through those and, help you when things get hard, and also, try to make things easier, smooth things over on the path of French bureaucracy. So if you're interested in that, I do have 5 spots available for the month of August. I do have a low introductory price, and I have 1, 3, and 6 month packages. So please message me if you're interested in that to see if that's a good fit for you. You get access to me right on my phone via a smartphone app called Voxer, and I'm in it every day. So please do message me if you're interested in that. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what kind of things you want to create for yourself, and we'll talk about how we can make that happen. So so message me about that, and meanwhile, check out the video series about how to ask good questions, get good advice, vet the advice you get, and whether or not you need to hire somebody to help with your transition into France. So have a good night. Hey, this is Allison Grant-Lunes. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you learned something about living in France and were inspired about pursuing your own Franceformation. Do you want to learn how you can get the right visa and create your dream life in France? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and to the Profiles in Franceformation podcast for more inspiring stories about people who made their Franceformation a reality, and for more tips and tricks on how to make your Franceformation happen for you. If you want to learn more about what visa is right for you and how to pursue your Franceformation, you can check out my book, Foolproof French Visas, which goes over basically every single way that you can possibly move to France. It's available as an ebook or in paperback on Amazon, and it will help you identify the right visa for you and prepare a successful application.
Or if you'd like my personal help with applying for your visa and moving to France, you can go to www.yourfranceformation.com/free-call to request a free 30-minute Franceformation clarity call with me about how I can help you to make your dream a reality and get started on helping you to move to France. Thanks again for watching, and à bientôt.